There it is. There it is. There it is. What's going on, world? What's going on, world? This is the Truancy Hour. TTH 236. I'm over here messing around with the mic. I had it earlier on the beanie, but I was like, I might have to walk around like this, honestly. Your boy might have to walk around. Hold on, man. Let me do this. Hit you with what I'm saying, off the wrist. I got the mic just right off the wrist like that. Check my lights still on. Wah, wah. What we doing? Do it like this. I might do it like this, man. Keep it like such. Just out the wrist. Just like boom. TTH 236, man. What we doing right here? Yeah, man. Just keep it real simple, man. Keep it real simple. Excuse me. Boy had coffee. Boy had a maple bar. All that cost me $12. You know what I'm saying? In the great state of Washington, where they charge you for coffee and sugar and shit like that. Some bullshit. Some bullshit. This is the Truancy Hour. TTH 236. TTH 236. I'm over here bullshitting, being me, doing me, documenting me, always, all the time. We got time. We're going to utilize time, man. Let's talk about utilizing time. But before that, let's speak on this, man, the university mindset. Plain and simple. We getting the reps back in here. We're getting the reps so you can hear my voice. It's slowly clearing out. Your boy hit the water fountain. The water fountain got a good filter over here. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. I'll tell you like this, man. Hold on, let me move some cords and cables around. All right. When you like me, you got access to your university spaces and places, bruh. Hold on, man. Let me clip it on like this. You got access to the. No, this ain't gonna work. Like this, man. Keep it on the side. You got access to the university spaces and places, right? Just like I do right here. We out here on campus, right here. We out here on campus. We got this room on the Fridays. We try to get these other rooms on the weekends and stuff. Well, you out here, university spaces and places, dog. For me, I got a sense of peace and wisdom. Peace, quiet, and wisdom over here. I'm able to level up myself. I'm able to kind of tune things out, retune myself, you understand, and really just refine who it is that I am. But a lot of times, because I'm doing it selfishly, I'm like, how can I share this with the universe if not share it with other people? Oftentimes I find myself just speaking to other people and friends, and it can be overbearing at times. It can be a lot of information, a lot of just talking in general at times, and people might not want to hear it all the time. People just want to have fun. I understand that. A lot of times, even the feminine energy in most people, they just want to have fun. Nobody got time to be logical and thinking like that. But that's just that's where my mindset's at, man. I'm on some man shit on the sense of like I gotta take care of people and take care of business. You understand? It's very important to me that I take care of people. Take care of people and take care of business anonymously. So the point I'm making is that I lost my point a little bit, I ain't gonna lie to you. But that's okay. When I'm speaking out loud, I'm getting a level of wisdom here from just learning, having the internet, utilizing my time, hashing things out. Sometimes I run a couple math problems if I was doing stocks, back in those days. But when I'm here on campus, I get a level of peace, quiet, and wisdom. For me, I'm able to impart that same wisdom and knowledge through videos, if not recordings, if not, just speaking to people. But a lot of times people don't want to be spoken to or even spoken to like I'm talking down to them or I'm lecturing them, unless it's transactional. You know what I'm saying? If it's transactional in the sense that someone is paying for my time, they feel like they're getting something out of it. But some people, I'm not necessarily a therapist, but some people might pay for your time just so they can hear themselves talk all day. And you got to be mindful of that too. If you're someone that's in that business or doing that kind of whatever. But this is TTH 236, the Truancy Hour 236. That means it's the 236th episode. We're trying to do this university mindset stuff from 201 to 236. So this is the 36th university mindset right here. University mindset comes within. And like I'm saying, I'm trying to impart this on you. Like I'm telling you, you have access to campuses. You get a level of peace, quiet, and wisdom. What do you do with it? You level yourself up. But for me, I'm leveling up myself as much as possible. I impart the same knowledge and wisdom that I'm sitting here, taking notes on my phone, taking notes on the notepad, whatever I'm doing, creating videos, uploading videos, using the internet, all these things, and I want to share it. And a lot of times, like the biggest thing I talk about is that whether I'm here on this campus, the next campus, because I visited a lot of campuses. I bought this at UT University of Texas, then in Austin. So I visit a lot of different campuses, but obviously when I'm in the home base here, I spend time on campuses in different areas and whatnot. And my whole thing is I just you meet people, whether it's a student, even just someone at a job, even someone doing their job. I might run into security. I run into security here all the time. And then people are in school on the side. They're just the security is just the job, but they're in school too. People at the front desk, they either went to school or they're going back to school or something. You understand what I'm trying to say? And a lot of times people put a certain level of value on themselves based off of what would you say, like a certain wage, a number, like a certain wage number, a certain money per hour, a certain amount of money per year, a level, like a certificate, a degree, all these different things. And who am I to knock people? If you need a job, like if you need, like I would say that if you wanted a surgeon, right? If you wanted a surgeon, you want someone who's approved, man. You want someone who's actually went through the schooling, understands why certain devices and certain equipment is the way it is, and why certain body parts function the way they function, and the amount of time someone needs to go under, and the level of anesthesia that someone needs, and all that. You would want someone who's actually approved. Trial and error it out. All the trials and errors, right? You'd want someone who's approved. My point is this, right? Doesn't matter, bro. Because whoever you were on the way to that and before those things were achieved, whether you're on the way or whether you've been there already, you have to remember that your soul and your human, just you as a human being, has value. You understand? We got to stop valuing ourselves based off of a system that we did not create. A lot of those value systems have nothing to do with our own cultures that some of us are coming from. You understand? That's for my black and brown peoples alike. You understand? You know how it is. We didn't necessarily create these systems, but we may have created these systems, if that makes sense. And then these systems were flipped on us, and now we have to buy into it. That's a different conversation. But if you know, you know. And that's a whole other conversation as well. But I need people to start valuing themselves, bro. Really start reflecting on your own life a little bit. Just reflect on your own life a little bit and just really start to understand that there is a degree of things in your life that you have survived, withstood, and handled up to this point. This point right here. There's a degree of things that you have handled. You understand? Up to this point, there's a degree of things. There's also a degree and a level of things, a threshold, if you will, of things that you will draw the line at. You will no longer tolerate certain things. Therefore, I need you to start certifying yourself as a human being. A very healthy way to start doing that is just simply loving and respecting yourself a little more. It's easier said than done. But once you start to examine within yourself, again, you don't have to go to another university, another college, community college, vocational institute, technical college. You understand? Culinary school, art school. You don't have to go to these certain things to necessarily validate yourself. It's great to do these things to validate yourself because you need a certain job. I understand that. That's very specific. That's fair. My thing is this. Wait a minute. Hold on, bro. I'm seeing something weird. A lady holding a baby. She ran across the street. Dude was behind her. Looked like he family. Looked like he a grandpa. Okay, no, they're waiting for him. They're waiting for him. I was like, why you get across the street so fast and leave him behind? I thought they was running away from him, dog. That shit freaked me out for a second. I'm like, hey, this dude a creep. What the fuck? But no, they standing there waiting for him. Like, oh shit, we left grandpa back there. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, man, I gotta go pick up. They might talk about something. I gotta pick up something. Hold on. I got a little, not appointment, but I got a little thing to check on in a second. We're gonna try to keep this brief. We're utilizing time here. University mindset, man. Start really looking into the history of yourself, things that you're aware of, things that you remember, things that you've accomplished, things that you survived, withstood, handled, things that you no longer tolerate, things you draw the line on. things you stand up for. Really start looking into that within yourself. Just really start asking yourself. And then you start to realize there is a level of love that you deserve to give yourself. You know what I mean? You don't have to necessarily look for it from other people. It's nice to get it from other people. It's nice to hear the approval from other people. It's nice to not be so egotistical and big headed and not do it to yourself. That's fair, because at least you're not being problematic to other people. But you also have to have a healthy amount of love for yourself before it gets too egotistical and out of hand. You understand? Same thing with respect, having a level of decency and respect for yourself. Because for you to draw the line with anyone shows that you have respect for yourself. For you to have survived something for the sake of yourself for someone else means you have a level of love and respect for yourself. And you need to start examining that a little more. Understanding that before you get to your certain goals, I know you should still get to your goals, don't get me wrong. Before you get to your certain goals, and even if you're on the way right now or if you've already been there or whatever, understand that you have a value as a human being. You understand? Your soul has a value on this planet. It's living within your body, whether you're proud of your body, whether you're happy of yourself or not. It lives within your body. It's observing all these things. It deserves a level of love and respect. I want people to love themselves. That's all. It's not easy. I'm a work in progress as much as the next person. It's a constant work in progress. You know what I mean? People say, I want to stay fit. And people who are fit are trying to stay fit. You understand what I'm saying? People want to get fit. People want to get healthy. And people who are fit and healthy have to stay and maintain health. That's a whole another conversation. All right. But you get what I'm trying to say. It's all relative. It's all relative. I'm over here monitoring the time. They took the clock out of the room. You know what I'm saying? So here we are. Hey man, what if I start doing this? Can I clip it on the cup? If I can clip it on the cup. This coffee is cold. Bro, I'm like, hold on, let me see. Hold on. Shout out to Fuel Coffee. Can you see that shit? It's too bright. Shout out to Fuel Coffee. I was I got the coffee and then I came all the way here to the campus. Got the coffee, then came all the way to campus. So that's how that's how long I've had the coffee. So I've been here. I don't know, I've been traveling with it for like an hour and a half, 2 hours now. That's how long I've had the coffee. I'm just slowly drinking through it. Pause. But let's talk about utilizing time, man. Let's get to it. Because I'm giving myself a limited amount of time while I'm here. I did like a little 40 jack, whatever, a while ago, but let's get to doing this one. TTH 236, man, utilizing time. Let's banter about it. I want to speak on boxing. Boxing is where it started for me. The concept of time. In boxing, you got 3-minute rounds. In amateurs, you had 2-minute rounds, three of them. So 3 2-minute rounds. So think about that. You be in the gym. Guys will be in the gym for an hour a day. Youth class, hour a day, hour and a half. What you do outside of the gym, some weights, some cardio, just to get in there for 2 3 minutes, or so 3 2 minutes, just to get in there for 3 3 minutes, just to get in there for 4 3 minutes. Start getting on a professional level, just to get in there for like 3 3 minutes, 6 3 minutes. But you be training hours. You condition yourself for hours to fight your heart out for 3 minutes at a time. So you can't waste time in there. You can't waste time when they're getting hit. You got to waste time and you have to utilize the time when they're hitting. You understand? That's the name of the game. It's not a game. Boxing is not a game. It's not a, you know what I'm saying? It's a different type of sport. It's not like hey, let's play a game. But the name of the game is hit and not get hit. That's the sweet science. You understand? There's a full saying. It's like the sweet science of hitting and not getting hit, or the sweet science of boxing and pugilism or something. Look that up. There's a full terminology because they call it the sweet science, but it's a full terminology. Excuse me. I'm over here mixing words because I'm jumping ahead of myself. You think of sometimes you think of something, sometimes you think of words and you jump ahead of yourself. You gotta be a little more concise and patient with yourself. Slow down sometimes. Slow it down. That's what I gotta tell myself. Slow it down. But yes, utilize the time in boxing. People over here doing all this extra shit, all these extra movements and throwing these punches and tiring themselves out, and you're just over here being calm because you've done it for hours and hours and hours and half an hour to 3 minutes at a time, 3 minutes at a time, 3 minutes at a time. You've conditioned yourself. I know some gyms that do 5 minute rounds. I know gyms that do 5 minute rounds. Thought that was a fucking owl, but that's like part of a chimney. Anyway, um, what the hell am I looking at? I was like, this house from far away. That shit freaked me out for a second. It's like, what the fuck? There's like a random owl in the daytime. Anyway, um, yo, what the fuck? Utilize the time, man. I've always said this, man. It's like sometimes when you're in there, I've said this when I was a kid, when I was boxing. I started boxing when I was 12 till about 15. 11, 11 and a half, no, 12 to 15. Consistently, like on some 24/7 shit. And it's really interesting, man, because I've always said, depending on your opponent, and if you start to understand your opponent, the thing is, you don't really know much about your opponent until you guys really get into that first round of an actual match. Sparring is one thing, but the first round of an actual match is another thing. When the crowd is cheering and everybody's watching, and then you have you know what I mean, you have a record to defend or whatever. That's a whole other conversation. Even like exhibition matches are like that. My point is this: depending on the level, the explosiveness, the tenacity, even the mood of that opponent that day, whatever it is you're attacking and tackling that day, whether it's the person you're attacking or tackling, or the situation or the job at hand, even being here, whatever that is, you got to approach everything like it's the most severe thing, even if you have a level of control. You understand what I'm trying to say? There's a point of us in training where like you stop throwing full power and full speed, and you can throw full speed and then pull back on the power. You can just pull your punches basically, but it still looks full speed. That's a professional thing that I learned really early. But that's a whole nother conversation here. The point I'm making is that depending on what's in front of you, and the analogy here is the opponent. A lot of times I've seen these opponents as, what would you call, bombs that you're diffusing. You're diffusing bombs in there. You understand? So how can you slowly wear this thing down? Like let's say like you're doing 12 3 minute rounds. There's 12 rounds and they're all 3 minutes, right? Every 3 minute section you got, this is an explosive person who's been training for hours and hours and hours. And you have to wear them down. You have to hit them hard enough to wear their power down. You have to hit them hard enough to wear their guard down and their ribs and their oxygen. You have to hit them hard enough to make something cut on their head, something on their face, their nose, crack their nose. You want to get in and, you know what I'm saying? You want to hurt their arms a little bit when you make contact there. You want to get in those ribs. You want to just slip it on their right side to get their kidney. You want to get a kidney shot over there or whatever. Excuse me, liver and kidney and all that. You understand? Like you want to hit people certain places. You want to hit them on the left side of the chest. You know what I'm saying? The right hand lines up right there. The left hand goes up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you just start figuring shit out. You start hitting them in the noggin. No rabbit punches. It's still in front of the ear, not behind the ear. No rabbit punches. But that's what I'm saying. You find ways to diffuse this bomb. This person in front of you is this explosive thing that if you don't take care of it, it can explode in the worst type of way. When I say utilizing time, the metaphor that I use is just like, even a day like this is my day off. This is the most relaxed day. I could have stayed in bed, looked at the time. I was like, the sooner I get up, the faster I get to the campus before the doors open. The faster I get to the campus and I could just wait outside, drink my coffee, fucking cold ass coffee now, and just wait to get access to the room and shit. You understand? So that's what I'm saying when I utilize time is like, you woke up and you got at it. Because the thing is, if you're given days like this, if you're given days off like this, and you're not utilizing it, that's the biggest thing, man. If you got days off like this, if you got really slow, like even at my old job, bro, my old job, I'd have an 8 hour shift. We'd knock out the physical work for 4 hours, and then the next 3.5 hours of the day, I'm spending it doing math equations to master my stocks and investments. So that way I ain't got to pay no fucking, financial advisor. I'd rather do this shit myself. You understand? Just doing my thing. So every two, we'll just, that's 3.5 hours, but every 2 hours, we'll say that I spent at work, all that compounded. So that was anywhere from 8 to 10 hours a week that while I was gaining knowledge and applying myself. Same thing here, man. This is video content that may or may not stick. However, it exists and it keeps the channel afloat here and there because they drop weekly. And when you find them, you find them. When you see them, you see them. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? A lot of people, the way they utilize their time, it's like, so that's another thing about it is like some people like, it's my day off, I'm gonna play video games. Oh, I do it for myself. I do it for my own enjoyment. I was like, you can still do it for your own enjoyment and still share it, and you'd be surprised who views it. I have videos that like I don't understand. I have random ass videos that I posted where it's Pokemon, Moonstone Island, Bomberman. I'm like, why this shit got over 50 views? For what? It's just me playing the game. I'm not even commentating on it because someone happened to enjoy, if not click on that particular video, whatever it's the thumbnail, the title, I don't know. And I don't care because I was enjoying the game when I played it and I wanted to share that. The same way I enjoy gaining my knowledge, my peace and quiet here, and imparting that same wisdom with you guys. So I'm always constantly trying to kill two birds with one stone, utilizing time and effort as much as possible when I'm doing these. I want people to find the things in life that they love to do. If not, just simply, you enjoy to do it. If not, you strive to be this certain individual or person, whatever that thing is, and really just start exercising the time, the effort, and the utilization of both in that particular thing. The same way I did with boxing, because you have to attack the day, you have to attack the time, the minutes here, very carefully. Whether it's you catching your breath away, I'm trying to do right now, because I'm getting over a cold, or some other shit. You get what I'm trying to say? You get what the hell I'm trying to say? Hold on, man. Some important shit. Where we at? Oh, we good. The other second part I wanted to speak about was the other thing I enjoyed doing, and you could find this content as well, was music. It was music. I said, put the time in, the skills will sharpen. I said, learn to learn the pauses. You know what I mean? Learn to learn the pauses, learn to play the pauses. I say pause a lot. You know how that go. And then when the beat should breathe, my bad. Learn to play the pauses and when the beat should breathe. Everything is a cohesive effort. A lot of times when I used to rap, man, I sit there and I have my little space for the 16. I came from the sports background, the boxing background. So I was all about, it's not about surviving 3 minutes. It's the fact that you're stuck in here for 3 minutes with me and I'm going to make you suffer. That was my thing in boxing. Was like, I don't give a fuck about surviving for 3 minutes. I'm in here for 3 minutes and I'm active. I was Russell Westbrook. I was on some Manny Pacquiao shit. I was just throwing hands and staying active, staying in the pocket the whole time. I was like, we're going to go head up the whole 3 minutes. The whole 2 minutes, the whole 3 minutes, I'm going to be right there. Unless you got more power than me, then I got to play defense. You know what I'm saying? I got to dodge and shit. But even then, I'm going to swing back. So that was my thing. Put some pressure and swing back if necessary. So I came from that, and then I started doing music. And they gave me these little spaces for 16 bars. And I would try to fill up as much syllables, try to fill up as much space and have no breathing room. I'm like, ah, bah, 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 you know what I'm saying? Not that I was rapping fast, but I was just trying to fill up with like, just words and verbal shit and metaphors and all that. But there's a way to be skillful and confident in your skills and still let the beat breathe, man. It's you on the beat. You think about battle rappers, man. Battle rappers play the pauses really well because they have no beat. It's all a cappella. And there's nothing wrong with just being a guy who I could speed up right here. I could switch the flow right here. I could pause it right here. I could pick it right back up again. So with the music, it's a cohesive effort. When you learn to play the pauses, when you learn to learn the pauses, you understand that it's just like, yeah, you have to breathe. I mean, you think about jazz artists, man. See, the thing is, here's the thing. With music now, everyone punches in. Everybody punches in with the music. That means you do da-da-da-da, breathe and stop, breathe and stop. But I used to still to this day, I record my 16 straight through. I like recording the whole song straight through. You know what I'm saying? I don't like taking breaks. Even if I'm doing 48 bars straight, I like doing it straight through. Just to say I did it. Well, like you think about jazz artists, it's like They have to take breaths and pauses as well when they're blowing the horn, playing the trumpet, you know what I'm saying? Saxophone, all that shit. They have to catch their breath. People got to catch their breath. And it's the same thing when you're rapping and you're playing the pauses. The DJ doesn't scratch throughout the whole song. They know when to do it. You understand? You wasn't just scratching the whole song. So you got to know when you play your part. Everything is a cohesive effort, man. So now this is outside of you. You've done the training. We're talking about the boxing side. You've done the training already. You put the effort in. You put the little whatever. You understand what that is already, Bray. My whole thing now is like, now how do you cohesively do that with other people? Since you know how to do it at 90%, 95%, 100%, how do you know how to dial it back to 65, 70? So that way the rest of it is just like, yeah, the beat was playing, all that shit was happening at the same time, and then everything was a cohesive effort. Really think about that in terms of time. Because one thing I always say, man, I say this all the time, especially during the time when I had to bury my mom. I dropped, about 10 to 15,000 bucks on my end, and then my brother, my cousin, they did their part by doing another 10, 15,000 on their end or whatever. Because for those that don't know, when there's a funeral, especially for a loved one, if you don't have the payment plans, and the payment plans are set up usually before, while someone's still alive, no one really plans that shit. But they'll give you a 60-month payment plan thing, which is 60 months divided by 12 is 5 years. Because it's 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. That's 5 years. So 60-month payment plan to pay off funeral costs. So that way, when it's time to actually bury you, everything's already paid for. But here's the thing, it's about 10,000, a little over 10,000 for the funeral funeral stuff. And it's about another 10,000 for the burial stuff. And I spent like, I just rounded it up to 5,000, but it's probably like 3 to 4,000 for like the actual headstone. It's something like that because I ended up getting a design and like getting my mom's name chiseled and a picture of her holding my brother when he's a baby. Like it's kind of a weird picture, but it's just showing that she's a mom. I didn't want to put my brother's picture on the gravestone like that, but I was like, you know what, man, it just shows her being a mom. It's kind of cool. So, and they had asked me like, do you want to take the baby out? I think that was a sign to like actually take the baby out. So maybe I'll ask them like, maybe you could just put her face on there. So we'll see. I'll talk to them, see if it's not too much of a bother. Um, yo, that's kind of crazy. You see, that's what it is, man. So that's what I'm saying. You put the effort into to finally do this. Oh, the point I was making was this. Like I say, a cohesive effort, right? One thing I learned about the funeral was like, honestly, man, we have this many different branches and households within our family, this many different cousins and households. If everyone pitched in 1,000 for me, it wouldn't be that hard. I wasn't asking for it though. I was selfish. And I was like, I'm gonna make this happen by myself. I got this. I wasn't asking for no help. I wanted to make it happen by myself. 'Cause I'm selfish and I'm retarded like that. Pause. That's a pause too, man. So you don't got to pause all the gay shit all the time. Certain things are just kind of off kilter, whatever. You can pause that too, man. But here's my thing. Majority time it's just the sus stuff. You start saying that suspect shit. Hey man, hey yo, you gotta check it. You gotta check yourself, bruh. But nah, man, it's I thought about this because I was like, honestly, man, I really started. I wish I thought this way for myself at the time period, but for myself, I was thinking very selfishly. So I thought very selfishly in the sense like, you know what, man, if I'm going through it, I'm gonna handle it myself. I got this. But I started thinking for other people. I was like, if other people start going through this, I want to be the most efficient and effort driven person in that regard. So I started thinking, I was like, next funeral that comes around, next time it's the next person's funeral, if everyone does a little bit, no one has to do a lot. With all these different households and different branches of the family, if they all pitched in 1,000, like I said, I'm not saying individuals should pitch in 1,000, but if certain households can just offer up 1,000, that offsets so much shit. You understand? A lot of people have small families, so that's different. But if you have a slightly big family like mine, it's like every little household just pitches in 1,000, things get covered, costs get covered, things are good. And I think that's the way it should be. It shouldn't, a lot of times I think a lot of, especially when you're in the hood, a lot of black and brown families, man, will just rely on that one breadwinner to take care of everything. We get too reliant upon other people. And I don't mind being the person that people rely upon. I'm not saying I'm rich. I just like being the person that people look up to because it keeps me on my toes. It keeps me working hard. I like that shit. Pause. Yeah, we'll leave it at that, man. I just hope that makes sense, but I wish I was a little more, you know, easier on myself in that regard. But, I got to keep myself sharp. I got to stay strong, just in general. Hold on, bruh. Here's my last note because it looks like we run out of time. Utilizing time. This is the banter, man. I want to talk about the content. This is the content, right? So, point I'm making here is this: Cinco Bane, this channel right here, Cinco Bane, this channel, it is actually just a library, excuse me, of knowledge and experiences when you really think about it. I'm just giving you where my mindset's at right now. I'm just giving you little topics that I thought about, wrote about, that just happened to be on the top of my mind. I just wrote it out right here, right now. You understand? We on campus. I want to do this shit right here, right now. That's it. That's what the knowledge is. And if you're here for this video, you're experiencing something that happened on January 9th, because that's what it says. That's what I'm gonna write on the video too. You're experiencing it now. The point I'm making is you're experiencing this all right now. When you saw me do soccer con vlog, if anyone tuned into that, that happened then and now. Or, then, whatever, then. That's an experience. People saw me go to a Beyblade tournament. They saw me cook eggs. They heard me listening to Love Russell in the morning. They heard me listening to Kendrick Lamar in the morning, cooking up my breakfast before I caught the bus, before I got on the train, whatever, express, show up to the tournament, get my coffee, record the winner, record me going home. They saw that was an experience, the vlogging, an experience, the knowledge behind it, the experience, the podcasting, the live streams, the talking. All of it is experience and knowledge. So when I talk about time, it's like, yeah, you are living every day an experience. You are learning something new every day, whether it's about yourself or someone new or whatever someone chooses to teach you. Some people might teach you some bullshit. You might learn some bullshit, and that's fine too. You're learning something still. You're still learning something, right? You might even learn that this person's a bullshitter. You got to start to, you know, delineate and differentiate with all that bullshit. My thing is this, bro. You have to, well, I shouldn't say you have to. It would be nice if people started monetizing that more often. I'm okay with the vulnerability of it. I understand it's not for everyone, but I thought about it. I was like, I'm okay with this channel being whatever it needs to be. People might look on this and start judging it a little differently. Hey, low key, bro, I was looking across the street. What the fuck? This dude walking up. I think because the curtain is cut in half, I didn't see his lower half of the body. I just saw a top half of the body like this. So I thought he was walking with his hands, dog. I was scared. Anyway, this is what it is, man. Um, this is what my channel is. Hopefully, it's inspirational to some degree. I've been I did so much in 1 year, just Beyblading, not for Beyblade, but just documenting a moment in time in Beyblade. And every other weekend, I might have just started recording things after that year, just to have some backlog stuff. You know what I mean? Just to have backlog things. Not that it was important or not, but just to have it. And I just think it's important to have things to look back on, man. I think a lot of times the things that are happening in this day and moment aren't always appreciated, but it's important to document it. And I say this to say, like, I'm being very vulnerable here. I'm being very honest here as much as possible. I might not even agree with who I am and the things that I'm saying a year from now, a month from now, a week from now, or just like how many more years down the line, as long as this video exists. But I will say that hopefully it inspires someone who needs to hear themselves. Hopefully it inspires people that need to try stuff. I've seen people like really just like, I'm going to commit to going to these many different conventions and whatever stuff every year now. And I'm like, I like hearing that. And I'm not saying I had the influence on them. I'm sure I had an influence, but I'm not trying to take the credit is what I'm trying to say. And I want people to step outside of themselves a little more, because for me, it helps. It was like one of those, I was afraid to put myself out there. And the more I started putting myself out there, it's like, oh yeah, I have a level of love and respect for myself and a centering for myself and a groundingness for myself One, because of it, but two, because I was like, fuck it. There's no time left. Also, you got to think about, there are some kids who are bedridden. There's some people who are cancer patients and they can't do much, and they wish they could walk around and do stuff like we did. There's people who don't have limbs that wish they could do things we did. There's people who live vicariously through our content. So you have to think about that. You have to think about it, not necessarily selfishly, but it's not wrong with thinking selfishly sometimes. But I'm losing my voice here. Hold on. So I will leave it at that because your boy's losing his voice here, and I need to start packing up my stuff. And I'm gonna go back outside, but I need to start packing up my stuff, making sure I put everything back. But there it is. Hopefully, what I'm saying makes sense. I got a little foggy there because I had something on mine and I lost the thought. But hopefully, what I'm saying makes sense towards the end of that. All right, there we go. Listen, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. Um, think about the university mindset a little more, all right? I want people to really start hampering down and start loving themselves a little bit, um, a lot more often, I should say. There it is, the Truancy Hour 236. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. Peace. I'm out.